The US are really trying to ban Somali immigration for 25 years. The American politician called Brandon Gill has introduced a bill called the Somali Immigration Moratorium Act. The bill would pause immigration from Somalia for 25 years by amending US immigration law. This bill would basically block most new visas, green cards, refugee and asylum protections, and work permits for Somali nationals for 25 years. This wouldn't affect people who are already in the US before the enactment, as well as current green card holders, official visas, and diplomats. Brandon Gill is framing this as protecting national security, taxpayers, and social cohesion. He claims that issues like welfare dependency and fraud in the Somali community justify this ban. And again, this is just a legislation and is yet not passed as law.
It's coming to America.
Islam's coming to America?
Yeah, it's coming.
Wait, is this going to be
one day America will become a Muslim state, a Muslim country.
Really?
Tell Trump.
That's never going to happen.
Yes, it will happen.
It's never going to happen.
God is powerful.
It's never going to
God, God is powerful.
Is that what everybody here wants? You want to see
That's one thing. Our goal is to make America Islam.
Really?
Islamic state. Yes.
Look.
God is powerful.
It's never going to happen.
You control the heart of Americans. God guides whom He wills.
Over my dead body will this become an Islamic state.
يريدون ليطفئوا نور الله بأفواههم والله متم نوره ولو كره.
Or part of American sovereignty is the ability to determine who's able to enter our country. And the sole purpose of our immigration system is to benefit American citizens. That's why today I introduced a bill that would implement a Somalia immigration moratorium. Mr. Speaker, we've seen the multi-billion-dollar Somalia fraud scandal just in the past week, and Americans are furious. And the reality is that Somalian immigration makes America less prosperous, less safe, and less culturally cohesive.
My biggest fear in life is that this man may never witness our full takeover. Yes, he may never witness that. He already witnessed our partial takeover, our little success in America. And he is the reason actually I know that the community in America is thriving. He is how I know. It's like, he's how we measure our progress. If he doesn't tweet, somebody messed up. I know it. Somebody fucked up the plan. If he tweet, I know.
As I sit here and I bash most members of Congress, John Thune is a total loser. James Comer, like, more action, less talking. I'd like to just at least point out the bright spots in all of this. I don't want you guys to be like totally blackpilled. While we are talking about whether or not Somalians who committed unprecedented amounts of fraud will ever actually be held accountable, there is a warrior in Congress taking action to prevent more of it from happening. My Congressman Brandon Gill, who is introducing legislation that would ban Somalis migrating to the United States, like, at all. It's just, no thank you. We're going to have a moratorium on that, 25-year moratorium on immigration from Somalia. And that's that. We don't like pirates. We don't need more pirates. We already have enough of them. And we just don't need you here. By the way, I do realize, like, a lot of people are like, actually forever. Okay, well, they have the ability to do that in 25 years. But can we just agree that 25 years is like a great start? Okay. Now, Brandon has been so great about trying to warn of this issue and one of the other issues that this dovetails into, which I'll get to in a moment. But he's been talking for a while, regardless of the insults that people throw his way for daring speak the truth. He has been warning for a while about, number one, the fact that they refuse to assimilate, which you cannot have a cohesive country when you are importing a bunch of immigrants from a third world country who refuse to assimilate to your first world values. That can't happen. You can't have that. That's not a country that you want, because that's not a country that functions. Okay. He's also been warning about the abuse of our welfare benefits, because as it turns out, you guys are going to be shocked to hear this. As it turns out, when you import people from the third world who have absolutely no marketable skills, no education, they don't know how to do anything that like pays good money or contributes to our economy, all they do is siphon out more of your taxpayer dollars by way of welfare benefits.
Households in Minnesota are on Medicaid.
I don't know.
It's 73%. Do you know what that number is for Minnesota native households?
Again, you're using the phrase Minnesota native households.
Correct.
The majority,
The number is 18%. That's quite an astounding difference. I think we would
Can I
agree.
answer the question, please?
You're
Let me
not
ask you one
answering.
more, and then we can go into that. What percentage of Somali-headed households are on welfare in general?
I don't know.
It's 81%. What about, let me just ask you, after 10 years of being in the United States, what percentage of
So, Congress is considering a proposal that's already setting up headlines, heated debates, and a lot of confusion online. So, a bill that would pause most Somalis' immigration to the US for up to 25 years has been introduced. And depending on how you've seen, it is described as it's either being framed as a national security move or an unprecedented discrimination. So, what does that bill say, and who would it affect, and who would it not affect? First, let's get one thing straight. This is not a law. What we are talking about is a proposed bill introduced in the US House of Representatives. So that means it still has to pass committee, pass the full House, pass the Senate, and be signed by the President to become a law. So most bills never make it that far. When you hear Congress bans Somali immigration, that's not what's happening yet. What has happened is the introduction of a bill calling for a long-term moratorium on most new immigration pathways for Somali nationals. Let's watch this clip.
Did those who commit this fraud, do they typically vote for Republicans or Democrats, in your opinion?
In my opinion, thank you for qualifying it like that, I would say they most definitely overwhelmingly vote for Democrats.
Do they typically donate to Republicans or Democrats?
Not to my knowledge. They
In your
don't
opinion?
donate to Republicans, they donate to Democrats, in my opinion, yes.
Got it. So would you say this is the Somali population is an important demographic for Democrats to win over politically?
Unquestionably.
Got it. And do you think it would have hurt Democrats' political standing with the Somali population to investigate this fraud?
Very clearly.
Got it. So in other words, you're saying that there was a political incentive to cover up widespread Somali fraud. Is that right?
100%.
Got it. Let me ask all three of you. Did the Waltz administration and Democrats intentionally, in your opinion, overlook this fraud while it was happening for political gain? I'll start with you, Ms. Robbins.
Absolutely. We have credible whistleblower reports that the Department of Human Services Administration, up to the OIG and the commissioner, met with a group called the Minnesota Minority Child Care Association multiple times, and that they were trying to weaken protections. We wanted,
Right.
we had several changes we wanted to do, and they opposed all of them.
And Mr. Hudson and Ms. Rarick, and then my time is up.
I would agree.
Absolutely. The whistleblowers confirm it.
Got it.
So Attorney General of Minnesota testifies today, Keith Ellison, in front of Congress. Here's a few clips.
Whistleblowers came to you as early as 2019. As early as 2019, whistleblowers, don't talk over me. As early as 2019, it's my hearing, pal. As early as 2019,
Don't call me
whistleblowers came to, well, I should call you prisoner because you ought to be in jail.
Well, you see what you did? I freely admit being in favor of the First Amendment.
And two people are dead because you encouraged them to put themselves in harm's way. And now you're exploiting those two marks. A tragedy was going to happen, and you encouraged it. And you ought to feel damn guilty about it. Smirk. Smirk. It's sick. It is despicable.
Are you asking me for comment, Senator? Because everything you said was untrue. It was a nice...
Okay, and now they ask him about this woman who was arred and unalived in his state, and he doesn't even know about her.
Who's Victoria Harwell? Because you haven't said her name. Just curious who she is.
Is there a question you'd like to ask me?
Yeah, who is she?
As I understand it, she's a very unfortunate, tragic victim of a crime.
Okay, and what have you done about it?
These people don't know what accountability looks like, and they're fixing to find out.
According to the proposal, the moratorium would last 25 years and would focus on new immigration, not people already yet. So that's a key distinction. The bill does not call for deporting Somali Americans. It does not revoke citizenship. It does not automatically remove lawful permanent residents. Instead, It targets future visa issuance and refugee admissions with some possible exemption for diplomacy and narrowly defined cases. Let's continue with the clips, guys, and then I'll come back with more comments.
And I request that our government supports our child care centers and stop this heinous crime and this hate that's happening around our state. Thank you.
Well, we have supporters of the bill. They argue that Somalia presents unique challenges when it comes to vetting, security, and even long-term stability. They point to concerns about government capacity in Somalia, past immigration enforcement and issues, and the cost of resettlement programs. So from their perspective, this is about border control, immigration limits, and national priorities, not about race or even religion. So whether you agree or not, that's the argument being made.
How did we get here? How did Minnesota Somalis get to a point where the President of the United States is using his full power, and he feels comfortable using his full power to attack us? We all have an idea of how we got here. We all understand how people have been talking about us in this state, how the media has been portraying us, how we've been used as a scapegoat over and over again as the reason why everything is wrong. And we've been quiet, been very, very quiet. Now is the time that we fight back.
I'll tell you how we got here. Your people chose to steal from the taxpayers, from American taxpayers. You were given a huge opportunity to come to the United States to make something of yourself, and you chose, as a community, to steal from the American taxpayers. Now we've got all these Somalians making all these videos saying, hey, whites, you need to go and work and make sure you pay your taxes. Well, guess what? We all pay taxes. I'm an Indian. I pay taxes. Asians pay taxes. Hispanics pay taxes. Middle Eastern, they all pay taxes. We all pay taxes. And your community chose to steal from all of us. There are legally people coming here and they too are paying taxes. So when you chose to steal from us, you chose to steal from all of us who pay taxes. So you want us to just erase your mistake? That's a mistake you made. Now you have to pay the consequences of those actions. Your community did something horrific, and your community need to pay for that. They didn't choose to do the right thing. They chose to steal. So now you must pay for the consequences.
Welcome to Galmudug, state of Somalia.
This guy seems to believe that the Somalian government claimed some land in Minnesota and it's theirs to govern now. This meeting's in Minneapolis, Minnesota, at the Safari restaurant, which is associated with the Feeding Our Future scam.
The restaurant claimed to serve more than 3.9 million meals to children in a 19-month span, even using Congresswoman Ilhan Omar in a promotional video in an alleged attempt to show legitimacy.
Farhia Khalif Mahmoud. Farhia is my leader. We'll lead this country together. When I say now she became state representative Galmudug.
I want you to understand what this guy's saying. He's saying that Farhia Khalif is his leader. He is a member of the Galmudug state, not a U.S. citizen. He's a Galmudug state citizen. in Minneapolis. Farhiya Khalif is his government leader. This is the definition of an insurrection. She was appointed as the governor of the Gamagdug state of North America, and this is the celebration that they had, and everybody was like, yeah, Somalia.
Welcome to Galmudug, state of Somalia. We all together on this one. We've been living here for long. We're gonna lead this country together. When I say together means me and you and us, inshallah. So Farhiya Khalif Mahmoud is one of the leaders in this state, all the way Virginia Beach, individually solo, and now she became state representative Galmudug for USA. She is my leader. When I say that, I know who she is. I know where she started from. I know where she...
So, however, critics say the bill crosses a major line. They argue that singling out one nationality for a decades-long ban is unprecedented in modern U.S. immigration law and could raise serious constitutional questions. So, civil rights groups also point out that Somali Americans are deeply woven in the U.S. society as business owners, workers, voters, and even elected officials. So, from that angle, the bill feels less like policy reform and more like collective punishment. So, as of today, nothing changes. No new ban is in effect. Visa rules remains the same. Immigration processing continues as it did before. What has changed is the conversation and the signal this sends about where some lawmakers want immigration policy to go next. This proposal fits into a much larger pattern, and we've seen over the last decade. So tighter immigration standards, country specific restrictions, and even renewed debates over who gets prioritized for entry in the United States, and whether this bill advances or quietly dies in committee. It tells us something important about the direction of political pressure, especially in an election cycle. So the real question isn't just whether this bill will pass, or it's what kind of immigration system the US wants going forward, and how far lawmakers are willing to go to reshape it. So I'll keep tracking this as it develops. So if you want updates without the hype, hit the subscribe button to join our family, and let me know in the comment section what you think this bill says about the future of immigration policy. This is Faith Reacts, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.